What's going on, guys? What we picked up is two Humvee wheels. I've been looking and looking and looking for these. Never find anything close. Ones I'd find relatively close were crazy in price. They're the Humvee wheels. These come in handy because the Dana 60 we have for the K20 is out of a dually. So as y'all know, they set wider. That's why the bug wheels and stuff are made with the offset on them. That's how the Humvee wheels are. You see how the offset's real deep on them, so when they're mounted on, it brings it in like a standard half-ton or three-quarter-ton truck would be. Found a guy down. It was still close to 2-hour drive each way to get them, but he gave me a super good deal on them. They got the plastic inserts on them, and they're in really good shape. So I'm just going to get them cleaned up. It's probably going to be, might be a minute before we actually get that Dana 60 in the truck. I want to get these cleaned up so I can store them and you know, just so they're not just sitting around collecting more rust. The can't remember what brand he said these were. They're the plastic inserts that go on them to help them with the bead lock. And so I mean, he let all that go with it because he didn't need them anymore. He had a super sweet Jeep. It's a rock crawler. Had these on it for his Dana 60. Is the same way. His had the dually Dana 60 in it, and didn't use them no more. Had them sitting around, so he gave me a really good deal on them. And I'll get them apart and hit them with. Had to go buy a assortment of wire wheels. It's like 6 or 7 of them, different styles, sizes. So get them apart, get them cleaned up, and throw a fresh coat of paint on them, and we'll see how they turn out. Oh, there we go. As cleaned up as I'm going to get it. Got the dirt, just a bunch of the loose paint off of it. Looks like it's been painted a few colors before I got it. We're just going with basic black. I just want to get them cleaned up before we store them. I get stuck to the back. Let the valve cap on it there so we don't get any of this down inside the valve stem. These aren't the 12 bolts, these are the 24s. A little bit better. But most ones I was finding were all out of state. To be able to get them one or two, anything really local, you just have to buy a full set, and these guys are wanting anywhere from 600 and up just for the wheels. Found a couple of them that had 37-inch what are those, OZ tires. Some of them had those on them, but they was wanting like 1,500, but all I needed was a couple rims, and we got lucky and found these down in Cincinnati. Guy gave me a good deal on them since I had to drive so far to get them, so I went ahead and jumped on it. Let's see what we can do here. The collar is just obviously the basic black. We're not going for perfection. Just want to get them cleaned up some before we go to store them. She can paint them whatever color she likes. Me, it's just basic black, works just fine. That takes care of that one. Not bad, huh? Compared to how it did look. I got it all, yep. So I have to let that set and dry, and just while it's drying I can clean the other one up. I didn't want to leave it on the other side, you know, because I didn't want to get this crap all over the threads. That'd be a whole different battle, but it cleaned up pretty decent. Got the loose paint off, the dirt, wiped it all down real good first, so we'll see how well this sticks. I was saying, they just got to make it until she figures out what color she wants and all that good stuff. Still got to clean up the inside of the bead. Let's see if I can get this where you guys can see it. Still a little dirty. I didn't hit it, but it cleaned up some, but I mean, you can still see some dirt here and there, but it was caked. You could tell that guy had it in some stuff, but not bad. Cleaned up pretty nice. Yeah, I was gonna miss a spot right there. I don't know how in the world I did that. There we go. So we'll let that set up and dry. And I also bought, I've never used this stuff before. It'll pick it up. It's got the sun in my eyeballs. A Rust-Oleum rust dissolver for me. It's that gel stuff. Picked it up at Walmart. So you got some spots on that Dana 60. We'll go back there. That stuff, you from what it says, you spray it on, let it set for 30 minutes, and rinse it off. So to break some of that stuff up, it's on the rest of that housing, mainly the knuckles on each side, but by the kingpins and all that. So we'll get it on there and see if we can get it to clean up some. All right, here we go. Rust-Oleum rust dissolver. So you got to take and try to get all the loose stuff off, which I did. Some of it's like just a little skelly, like where the caliper mounts and all that. Went over a little bit with a wire brush, wire wheel here and there. Get a little bit of the thicker stuff off. It says you got to spray it on. Use it's the gel style, so you spray it on, smear it around with a little brush, or a brush. Doesn't have to necessarily be a little brush, but you smear it around. Let it set for about a half an hour. Rinse it off and see what you got. So, let's see what we got. Well, I guess it is like a gel. It says you got to be. I should have gloves and eye protection on. I cannot remember what kind of acid it is, but this does have acid in it. It's very corrosive. You do not want to get it. It says right on it. You do not want to get it on your skin, and you guys know how it is. Acid is nothing to play with. And you don't see it bubbling or anything, so let's just hit it. Up around the cap and the arm, and well, you can see it turning white. It definitely has a reaction. I don't expect it to work miracles. Just hoping it gets some of the, breaks it down and gets some of the, real nasty stuff off, especially like out of the threads. At some point, it's not going to be anytime soon, but at some point I'll probably change out the kingpin for one of the other styles. They have it DIY with the bronze bushings and all that. But it ain't gonna be anytime soon, that's for sure. We've got too many other things to worry about and save up for, and like a freaking car trailer. No, I don't have the money for one. I'm starting to see the good deals, but you guys know that's just how it goes, man. It's nice how it does foam up some. Turns white, shows you it's working. Of course, like I said, I'm sure it's not a miracle worker. I'm sure it'll help. But we'll see. This backing plate up here on the back of the rotor definitely needs replaced. That's what it needs. It does have rust holes and stuff in it, but we've got to deal with what we got. Never tried this stuff before. Guess I could have. I just seen it was at Walmart and seen it on the shelf. Figured, give it a shot. So what's this going to do? Not work, right? Put one up real nice. Of course, that don't mean jack. All right, let's lay it to it. I don't know how much it'll help me for a rotor, but we're gonna throw it on out of curiosity. Still got to get. Guess I could have done this part when I disassembled it, but I still got to take it apart and get the wheel studs out of it. With this 60, we just haven't been in a hurry. There's nothing cheap about a Dana 60 whenever you do anything to it, man. It's like building a freaking big block, man. 60 parts are expensive. So we definitely haven't been in a hurry. And part of it's getting it cleaned up to see what we actually need for it. The truck we got it out of was a complete truck. I got the rear axle assembly out of it if it wasn't a dually. Just so I'd have matching gears, because now I gotta do a gear swap on that K20. On that 14 bolt. This one's got K20 has 410s. This 60 has a 456. So it's either do a gear swap or find another housing. So odds are it's going to be cheaper to find a whole nother housing. I haven't priced in the gear sets yet, but I did talk to a guy who was going to do some work on the differential on my daughter's Caddy. Had a pinion bearing and some other stuff go wrong with it, and talked to him about it. And it was he said he could do a full gear swap on it for $1,000. I definitely don't have that kind of cash, at least not right now. My main concern is getting a truck to get a trailer to haul this thing around once it's mobile, you know, going anywhere that's not local anyway. That, man, I can't believe how much it went up in price. Trailer lights, my God. These companies think they're making them out of gold or something, man. Last time I bought a set for this, I had them, that old John boat that I have, I was going to put them on it. Then we bought, we wasn't using it, it was just setting, so I didn't, never got around to putting them on it, because, I was in no hurry to use it. And we bought this pop-up camper. They needed lights, so I went ahead and installed them on it. But anyway, when I bought that, it was a full kit too. It was both lights, wiring harness, tag mount, marker lights, and everything. Man, LED. They was only, it's like $20-some at Harbor Freight. Man, I went to look at trailer lights, and they went from that kit, same kit I bought, went from $20-some to almost 40. I couldn't believe that. Alright. And we'll do the rotor just for shits and giggles, I guess. But man, I was really surprised. That's why I put that one video where we playing around with that welder and put those plates on there to mount some lights. I was going to get the little ones where you they don't bolt in, you drill. You got to drill it out, and then you push them in. They got the rubber grommet on them. I was going to go ahead and get a set of those. And even those, the ones that are, how size are those? They're 3-inch, 2.5, 2 3/4, or 3-inch diameter, something like that. They're like $8 for just that little light. But, I mean, I gotta have them. You know, for any place local, you gotta, get it on the road. You gotta have the brake lights and turn signals, and you don't need Johnny Law up your ass, That's the bad part about moving to the city. I'd love to be able to find a place outside of town. Spin that without touching that crap. I don't know how much. I guess you just squirt this on. It's going. Get it on, let it set for a little bit, and then we'll rinse it off. And hopefully it works as good as it looks like it's doing. This stuff, it's foaming up real nice. I think the cheapest thing on this 60 so far is, looking online, I haven't got them yet, but the calipers, they actually aren't too bad priced. For being a 1-ton. Shop around online. I found them online with lifetime warranty. The hell was it at? Napa maybe? I ain't gonna do that steering arm. I'll just hit it with a, break out the 4.5 and take all that crap off of it. Ain't wasting the stuff on that. Think of the calipers. Had some knockoff version on eBay. I ain't messing with that, but you can get them cheap on there. These ones were O'Reilly's or Vance Auto. You can get them through them relatively cheap. If you order them, well, of course you got to order them online. That's nothing that they carry in stock, but you can use the online code and knock off a little bit more. So I haven't had these apart yet, because I'm definitely taking them apart so we can get the axles out, put new axle joints in them, clean the bearings up, get everything repacked before it sees any hard use. I was wanting to have this truck in the woods this summer, but everybody knows how financially it's tough, man. Nothing cheap about this crap. Building these trucks is a bad habit. Probably shouldn't be putting this on this chrome, but I'm gonna do it out of curiosity. That looks like they're already shining. Didn't even rinse them off yet. These studs, man. If you guys can see that or not. I had a heck of a time getting these wheels off. I had those Bud wheels on it. This one twisted off. The other ones we had to get a big breaker bar put on there to get them off, man. It was a job. I think the other side came right off, but this side here, it's twisted off there, but I don't know if you guys can see it on the camera, but the studs are actually missing a lot of metal. Hopefully this stuff works some. I mean, I'm not expecting miracles, like I said, just a little bit of help. The plate, I'll clean that plate up when I disassemble everything. I should have probably just disassembled it all and done it that way, but it's okay. I just wanted to try it out. Check that out. See if you can see that or not. Hell, that's down to pretty much bare metal right there in that steering arm. Yeah, that corrosive bastard out of the way. So we'll let her sit. And we'll let her sit, then get the hose and everything drug back here, and then we'll rinse it off and see what we got. Alright, it's been about a half an hour. See how good this stuff works. I'm going to let the water trickle on it. I don't want to get this crap all over me, man. See what we got. I put some on the other side of the housing. And didn't prep the housing at all. It's like this side, I hit it with a scraper and wire brush, you know, and all that. I mean, I didn't like do a super duper job of cleaning it, but I scraped a lot of stuff down, hit it with wire brush some. Yeah, just try to get some of the grease off, some of the loose stuff off before I put this treatment on it. The other side, I didn't prep anything. It still has, this stuff turns pure white when it gets wet. Well, it appears like it done an alright job, I guess. I'm saying it's getting a lot of the loose stuff is coming off, and a good deep clean I can do when we disassemble it. Just trying not to fling it everywhere since I don't have any protective gear on. I'll clean those caliper pads up pretty good. Get some more of this off and I'll show you. Alright, let's get over here and ooh, that came pretty clean right there. Stuff turns real white once you get it wet. Neutralizing it or something. Alright. Let's see how this rotor looks. This rotor pretty much just wasn't really pitted or anything. It had surface rust on it from setting. I'm sure it's not going to shine, but the rotors are pretty easy to bring back to life. As long as they ain't warped and ain't wasting your time, but these ones are still good and thick, so definitely take the time to clean them up. And the other side, we rinse it off. I ain't gonna do nothing but rinse it off. Instead of how we're scrubbing on this one, just so we can see the difference. Oh, come on. Not bad. So here, you guys see that lockout? This is the part I'm curious of. Is if we're going to get any shine out of it. These things, it's super dingy. Oh yeah, look at that. Well, it definitely worked on it. The chrome's still pitted, but it's not really much matter. I mean, it's going to be in the mud and rocks and muck and all that good stuff. If I had a smaller brush, it would have cleaned right up in there. And the plastic cleaned up pretty good. Not bad for a lockout that was from 1979. Still has the original Spicer lockouts on it. I guess it's done all right. I was saying I wasn't expecting miracles from it. It's going to be getting cleaned more. I'm just trying to get a lot of the loose stuff off of it. This here, if you guys can see it or not. Look here where the steering hook's up. That came pretty clean. A little bit of grease on it. Came out pretty good. They've done a hell of a job on that. Of course, it wasn't as ate up as surface rust like everything else was. Alright, now we'll try the other side. Like I was saying, I'm just going to give it a hard rinse and we'll see the difference. So I didn't do too bad. You guys down there where you can see it. Before we move it so you can see the difference. And you can see where it's starting to dry up now. But all the loose stuff pretty much off of it. Just a little bit. If I disassemble this thing, all that stuff will come right off, throw it in the vise, make it solid, and go to it, get the rest of it off. So, I mean, that gel is relatively cheap, so it wasn't too bad. I don't know how much of a job it had been with the housing in the truck. Alright, let's see. Get you here where you can see the other one. So, what I did was put that side on real quick, and when we put it on in the video, came straight to this side, put it on, so there's only a few minutes in difference between the two. And axle house is still turning white on that one we just rinsed off, so kind of blast it. Ooh, bad idea. Let's see what we get. Oh yeah. I think if you definitely want to use a wire brush. guys where you can see cap for the Kingpin. Man, it's taking it right off of it. You see it, oh, you can see it there up in here. It's all straight down the middle. Yeah. Rotor's getting some smooth spots in it, so maybe she let it sit on there a little longer than what it calls for, I guess. Depends on how anal you are about everything, I reckon. Give that cap a scrub and see what happens. Oh yeah, man. There you go. So I guess, depending on how dirty your stuff is that you're working on, that's how long you want to leave it on there. Just straight cleaned that cap up real nice. Not bad. Alright. We'll rinse this crap off and then we'll move on to something else. These here are the little lights I was talking about. This one's, they're real nice and bright. These are the LEDs I'm going to use for the brake lights. Get some yellow ones for turn signals. I get to come on. Anyway, they're nice and bright. They are perfect for these plates that we put on. Let's see. Get this crap out of the way. So these plates are just big enough to where, man, that sound, I can't even tell if I've got you guys on it. So these plates that we welded on, these lights are, I think these are the 3 inch, I think, but they're about perfect. So I was going to get 2 red ones, you know, to put side by side, or actually, I'm sorry, it was one on this end, one on this end, and buy a yellow one for the center. I was going to do both sides like that, just run the wires down through, drop them down, come down through the bed, and hook into the wiring harness. These were, I'll get down where I can see. These ones are, I think these ones were $6.99 for these little ones here at Harbor Freight. I looked online, like eBay and stuff like that. Pretty much the same price. There's basic little lights. I mean, there's not much to them, but they're the right, perfect size for that plate. So I'll probably have to either dig around online or just bite the bullet. Just go buy 3 red ones and 2 yellow ones, and then we'll be able to get the back lights hooked up. Because we undone everything in the back. Whew, man, that sun's like right in my eyes. We redone everything in the back. I left. Where's it at? No, it's up farther than I thought. It's clear up there. I thought I left them all the way to the back of the frame, but up there is, yeah, you can see them there. That's the wiring harness for the tail lights and everything. So I got to do is patch in and just run it back. Just run it all the way back to the frame, then we'll drill a hole here in the bed somewhere, run the wires down through, and then, you know, snake them along the frame. You don't want them just like dangling around to get caught on something on the trail. So we'll just drill a hole up here, run them down, and then I still have the little tabs and everything up here along the frame, and we'll run it down here and we'll patch them in. Since we start getting some free weekends here, maybe some time after work, we'll start getting on it. I hope. Still gotta measure for these shocks. But we're getting there, and no. But we're kind of out of time for today. It's got way too much going on. This I actually had to squeeze in. Just to show we do so. Oh, and you guys was talking about plexiglass for this window. I had to run to Home Depot yesterday to get some stuff for the house, because we're still working on it. So I couldn't believe the price of plexiglass for this window. The plexiglass this truck. It was one piece of plexiglass at Home Depot. That is the length of this, and at the top, of course, I'd have to cut it to fit. $232 for a piece of plexiglass. That stuff. Yeah, so I asked them, and they said it's all because of COVID, where they're making a lot of the companies are. I'm sure you guys have been everywhere and seen them, how they got them at registers and stuff. These little protective barriers made out of plexiglass, Lexan, stuff like that. It drove the price through the ceiling. So plexiglass is definitely going to be out of the question for this right now. So I might just have to drive the distance to find one. Or if I find one, I find them. They're just all freaking hour and something away. But I think we're going to have to bite the bullet and do it. And I bought another battery for this one. It's the kind, because these, it just has the flat copper. It's the kind you see in a lot of diesels and stuff, how it's got just the post that sticks up. So I bought a heavy duty battery for it. Got lucky, they had them at Rural King. The big heavy duty ones were like $79.99. Had them all on sale, so I was wanting to get two of them, one for each truck. The K5, it actually has that style battery in it. And so I was wanting to get a new one for it. It's got quite a few years on it. Doesn't seem to want to hold a charge very well. So I was going to get one for it. But I bought one for this one and saving up to buy another one for that. And that's pretty much going to wrap it up, guys. I really didn't have a chance to really do a whole lot today. I was just wanting to try out that cleaner and see what you guys have tried. And I'd like to be able to get this frame cleaned up, because I'd still like to box it in at some point, and that's a whole different issue. But anyway, I don't want to hold you up. It's I'll bite the bullet, buy the lights, and we'll get them installed. Get them. I think the wiring harnesses. Yeah, it's like right there. So we'll get that all patched in, get everything functioning. I think the only part of the wiring harness I actually have to worry about is for the front. I wasn't even thinking about it. Ouch, I wasn't thinking about it when I cut everything down in the front to give the wheels more space. Of course, I have enough wire there to patch into. At least I left that. We just whacked it. I don't even know what the hell I was thinking. I should have just unhooked everything and just kind of wrapped it up and just hooked it right up here by the booster. That was stupid on my part, but that's what you get when you're not thinking about it at the time. But at least we have enough there to patch into. And we bought I don't have it on yet, but her birthday was the 18th, so I bought her a new seat cover for it. Just gotta get this old raggedy old stuff out of the way, and we'll get that new seat cover put on. It's supposed to be weatherized, and I'm gonna make sure we got a good one, because all it's on its tube doors. And I'll probably buy a big tarp for it this winter, get that cover on, just cover the cab up while it's not in use, just to keep from tearing that new seat cover up. This thing's shot, man. I found a seat on or what the hell was that, Marketplace, $300, and it wasn't a whole hell of a lot better than this one. But anyways, don't want to hold you up. I'll get the lights and stuff like that, and we'll get a video going of something that's interesting. And we still got to do some welding on these plates up here, so it's real secure to the bed. I mean, I don't really think it's going anywhere. I just want to do a better job on it, and I guess we'll leave it at that. It's not much of an update or anything, more just playing around with some acid. And oh, the oil leak. And we haven't had time to mess with it, so I haven't had a chance to look for the oil leak. But we'll find it. Thanks for watching, guys. I wish it could have been a little bit more interesting video, but it is what it is, I reckon. I'm trying. And thanks for watching. If you know anybody, I mean, subscribe, share. Trying to get the channel to grow. Doing what we can, when we can, when we financially can. It's definitely been a tough road for this one. And I should have finished it off before I bought this one, but trust me, there's no regrets for what I gave for that. Yeah, I could have had this one done, but I couldn't pass the K5 up for what I gave for it. So thanks for watching, and I'll get some electronical stuff together, and we'll get the tail lights, try to get them working, and figure out what we can do for. I have fog lights for the front of this. I actually used to be on it, but see what we can do for. They're like super bright, but find something a little dimmer we can use to hook up on here to mount as headlights. Probably have to get to one of those plates put on here in the front, and so we can make some turn signals for it. And I'm gonna leave it there for you. Oh, here's how the not bad. They dried to a flat black. They're pretty much dry. They're still a little soft, but flat black, basic. This stuff went on pretty good. I mean, it's definitely not perfect. I wasn't going for perfect, just wanting to get it cleaned up and get some fresh paint on it. Not bad. I still got to take them off and clean the back sides up a little better on both of them. But thanks for watching. Subscribe, share, and I'll try to get some stuff this week if I can. See where we're at financially and get what I can, and we'll get on it. Alright guys, thanks for watching.